We all know that we need to set limits with toxic people. But how do we set these limits? I have discovered that there is a simple way of doing this. Hello, this is Neena Dayal welcoming you in this edition of Mental Resilience Monday series from Success Synergy Enterprises. We are presently taking up the topic of dealing with toxic people. Stay tuned and I'll tell you the most intelligent way of setting your limits with toxic people in just a moment. Toxic people are at our professional and personal spaces. They're just everywhere. Many times we feel absolutely helpless while dealing with toxic people. In order to break free, we need to understand how they operate. Toxic people are masters at laying traps in which they can then go about trapping others. This is because within themselves they know very well that no one actually wants to come close to them. So they often construct elaborate traps in which others get sucked in and then remain there. One of the most common ways in which they lay their trap is by making themselves indispensable. Yeah, you got it right. Many toxic people make themselves absolutely indispensable to us. So, even if we feel trapped and helpless, we see no options but to continue our relationship with them. Usually, toxic people do this by acquiring lots of skills and getting very good in certain areas. Now, these areas could be work related or personal. The people who fall in this trap are usually those who lack skills in these areas in which these toxic people actually specialize. But it is one thing to fall in a trap, it is quite another to stay in the trap. The people who usually stay in the traps laid down by toxic people are either too lazy or too busy or lack confidence to learn these skills. So they accept the dependency that is created by the toxic people. The very best way to set limits with toxic people is therefore to break this dependency. In fact, I believe this to be the most intelligent way to set limits with the toxic people. The more you remain dependent upon the toxic people, the more deeply you keep getting sucked into their traps. And the more are the chances of your remaining there, where they can easily reach out to you and just strangle you emotionally. So, if you feel that you are trapped in a toxic relationship, whether it is a professional or a personal relationship, the most intelligent way to set limits is to start working towards your own independence. Now, if this requires acquiring new skills at work, learn them. If this requires expanding your network or making new friends, do it. If this requires earning money, as in many personal situations, mostly seen with women, learn to do so, even if initially you earn only small amounts. I would even go to the extent to say that if this requires moving to a new locality, relocate. Of course, what you need to do to set limits will depend upon the level of toxicity in the relationship. So use your discretion and then take your decision. But start by breaking your dependence upon the toxic people you wish to stay away from. And you will immediately start setting your limits. A word of caution. There may be massive tantrums thrown by toxic people when you start setting your limits from them. Bear the storm calmly, but don't succumb to this emotional drama and pressure. Once the toxic people settle down with their understanding that they cannot trap you anymore by making you dependent upon them, and that you are determined to keep moving onto the path of freedom, they start respecting your limits. This may happen slowly, but you have to make sure that it keeps growing steadily. The more you keep becoming independent, the more limits will keep getting defined automatically, and the more mental resilience you will keep developing. Independence acquired this way not only sets limits and makes you more resilient, it makes you realize your own abilities, opens new pathways for you, and enhances your worthiness also. We'll keep covering more in our future videos. So subscribe and enable the notification for receiving more releases from Success Synergy Enterprises channel. Do comment, share, and ask questions. I'm looking forward to interacting with all of you. Visit our website for more value. Thank you. Talk soon. Keep moving forward.